as we go along. Savarese and McBride still out there. Savarese, the late first half substitute. Jeff Eggers has moved to the middle as Clay Koyman has left the pitch. Teammate Steve Pittman will move out to the left, and Alexi Lawless, a little bit of an unusual situation playing out here on the right side. Normally a central defender, but Lawless the number 22. Nice forward pass for Brian McBride, who tries to keep it in play and does. Gets it past Frazier. Now competing against Santel in the middle. Knocked aside by Alvarez. And all the way to the outside.
Brian McBride, number 20 for the East there, threatening. Great hustle, making the run into the corner. He was the first player drafted in Major League Soccer and got off to a very strong start with the Columbus Crew, becoming the league's top scorer in the first 3 or 4 weeks. Obviously, since then, he's been overtaken by Preki and Hurtado at different times in the season.
Digital Taquera wearing the number 12, Preki's teammate in Kansas City. The Zimbabwe scoring threat also on the field. Robin Frazier continues to control the central defense, as does Alvarez in the midfield.
Number 17 in blue for the Eastern Conference, Giovanni Savarese, down in the lower left corner of your screen there. It's his birthday today. He's turning 25 years of age, and he's a Metro Stars fan favorite here at Giants Stadium, scoring many important goals for them already this season.
Mo Johnston, the familiar red-headed Scot, also in the lineup, so a trio of KC players. This Mark Santel wearing the number 7, playing the left defense, normally plays for Dallas, now wearing the West uniform, but his pass off the mark, deflected away, and here comes the East again. Valderrama to Echeverry. What a tandem that is. Echeverry thought McBride would stay outside, instead taken away nicely by Paul Bravo, the San Jose forward, playing a little bit more of a midfield role, which is actually what he started out playing in MLS and has turned into a scoring sensation in the interim. Here's Carlos Valderrama. Valderrama on the right foot. Echeverry mistraps. Valderrama giving chase, but Jason Kreis will get there first. Kreis in a matchup with Martin Vasquez just blows past the midfielder, and here's Johnston on the left wing. Lawless comes over. Johnston lays it off for Kreis. Kreis dribbles through Lawless, centers it in. Taquera fighting for it, and Doherty comes out to grab it. It'll be a play on. Let's go down to the sidelines. Bring back in Bill McDermott. Bill?
Thank you very much, Phil. I talked to both coaches as they re-entered the field. Thomas Rongett said, no big changes. A couple had-to-go minor things I might have done. But the bottom line is I've told the players to go out and have fun. Lothar Alcindor from the Western Conference told me, Bill, I told the players to go out and stay cool. Now go try to figure that out if it be at all possible in this weather. Phil, back up to you.
Thanks, Bill. Not as hot as it might be elsewhere in the country, but little neighbor named Bertha dropped by, and it is still quite humid here in the Northeast. Diego Sonora wearing an unfamiliar number 22, normally for Dallas in defense, as Johnston sends the cross in, knocked down. Lawless on the near side, Taquera giving chase.
We saw Tab Ramos score the opening goal of this game in the 14th minute of play with a great right-footed shot. He able to star in front of his hometown crowd. He plays for the Metro Stars. He grew up in New Jersey. Another guy who grew up in New Jersey, very close to this stadium, John Harkes. A disappointment for him, injured in a game on Thursday evening. He's got a tender hamstring. He has been selected as an Eastern Conference All-Star from DC United, but he won't be able to participate today. So a bit of a heartbreak for Harkes, but Tab Ramos is his best buddy, and perhaps that makes up for it that Tab was able to score here at Giant Stadium in front of the New Jersey faithful.
Here's Paul Bravo. Bravo to Johnston, laying it off for Preki to Taquera. A trio of KC players combining on that one. Bravo, the shot over the bar. He had Senora coming in, elected to take the shot, and it sails high and wide.
Good inventive play there by Taquera from the Kansas City Wiz to even be able to conceive of that play to drop it into space for Paul Bravo. Thomas Rongett, the coach of the Eastern Conference leading Tampa Bay Mutiny, alongside him his assistant coach Renato Capobianco, who used to help out with the U.S. national team during World Cup. And the coaches were selected for this all-star game based on who was leading each conference at the time of the vote.
Savarese lifting it up. Ramos, the flag comes up, it's offside. Capobianco, by the way, married to Mary Harvey of the U.S. women's national team, getting set for a rather tough run for the gold, but they're on their own home field, so He'll be divided attention over the next month or so.
Mary Harvey, a very tough goalkeeper for the U.S. women's national team.
Sonora on the far side, cuts inside Pittman and gets the shot over the bar. Goal kick for the East.
Diego Sonora, one of the players who've come on for the Western Conference, where he plays with the Dallas Burn, a very skillful Argentinian player from Boca Juniors.
Mark Santel, Digital Tacuera, Paul Bravo, Diego Sonora, and Mo Johnston into the lineup. Coming out, Ivan Hurtado, Mauricio Cienfuegos, Dan Kaushman, who did walk off the field under his own power, but it took him a while to get his senses back after getting nailed by that man. Marco Echeverry's free kick at the ending of the first half. Eric Winalda and Kobe Jones also out, the two Westlake Village natives from California, after a tough first half.
Marco Echeverry should have tried to target Leonel Alvarez with that free kick if he's going to take somebody out, because it was Alvarez who was encroaching.
Koyman off the field as well for the East, and teammate Steve Pittman. That appears to be the only substitution for them, although they did make the change earlier as well. In goal, Mark Doherty and Giovanni Savarese up front, coming in just before the half came to a close. Mark Dodd also in goal, as he has stepped in place of Jorge Campos. Here's Paul Bravo. Bravo with the outside of the boot. Preki will get it with some space against Pittman. Preki to the left foot, cuts back inside. He scored like this before, but he loses his footing. Taken away by Pittman, but Preki can work wonders on those cuts.
Preki, a darting, jagging run through the Eastern Conference defense, and he could cut the ball on a dime.
Savarese to McBride. He'll run on. Ryan McBride, the St. Louis U product. The first draft choice in college for MLS. Offside to Savarese. He continued to play, waiting for the whistle. Dodd will take the kick.
Now, this is a rivalry here between the Eastern Conference. As we look at the Western Conference goalkeeper, Mark Dodd, also out of Duke University, as is Jason Kreis, who scored the go-ahead goal for the West here in the latter parts of the first half of play. But early in Major League Soccer, the inaugural season, the Western Conference teams almost totally dominated the Eastern Conference teams in terms of wins. That now has pretty much rectified itself, but there's some of that animosity, rivalry going on out here between East and West.
John Doyle steals it away for Alvarez, looking for Jason Kreis, his Dallas teammate. Kreis, the number 15, pushing up from the midfield against Lawless. Kreis lifting it up and coming out quickly. Mark Doherty just in front of teammate Steve Pittman.
Steve Pittman, who got called up to the U.S. national team at the end of May to be on the roster for the USA Scotland game, but he was unlucky with an injury there, was not at full fitness.
Here's Valderrama. Echeverry making a run. McBride on the outside, in the middle, and Savarese almost did it again. Somehow he cut into the open time.
He has the instincts to be in the right place at the right time for the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars, as well as here for the Eastern Conference All-Stars. And it's Valderrama who starts it, as he always does. What a playmaker. Out to Brian McBride of the Columbus Crew. Brian McBride serves the near post for an onrushing Giovanni Savarese. Savarese did get his foot to it, forcing the corner kick.
Tab Ramos will take the corner. The Eastern captain scored the only goal they put on the board so far. Lawless heading it down. Valderrama and Alvarez fight. Echeverry gets the shot up. Lawless with the bicycle play on. Savarese to Agus. Lawless again, headed clear by Frazier, brought down by Welton. The shot just high.
What an air battle there just a moment ago as Agus sent the ball into the box, and going up for it, Alexi Lawless, brilliant in the air, but all over him were John Doyle and Robin Fraser, two other players just as strong as Lawless in the air.
Mark Dodd tested early and often just in that one series.
Tab Ramos taking the corner kick there, the first player signed by the new league, Major League Soccer. He signed back in the fall of '95. He's the franchise player, truly, along with Donadoni for the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars, whose home stadium is the friendly confines of Giant Stadium, which for now is natural grass surface.
John Doyle wearing the number 3. He started the game and is still out there. Diego Sonora from Dallas, who came in to start the second half. Doyle taking his time, looking for Tacuera. Somehow gets past Agus, tries to cut back and holds on. Bravo, Preki, and he didn't get all of that one. Goal kick for Doherty in the East.
When he does get all of it, you know it, because the ball takes off like a rocket. Preki, the leading scorer in the league with 29 points, didn't test Doherty at all with that one. Digital Takawira, number 12 in white for the Western Conference All-Stars, a top goal scorer for the Zimbabwe national team. Very exciting player on the dribble.
McBride tries to run on to Echeverry's pass, but Dodd out quickly to grab it. Pulls it out to his Dallas teammate, Jason Price. Santel as well, a trio of Burn players getting involved in the defense. Dodd looking for Takawira, headed away by Eagles, and the number 3, Steve Pittman, who appears to be in good health. It might not be that far away from a call-up again to Steve Sampson's national squad.
The Eastern Conference All-Stars have a couple of very good defenders in Jeff Agus and Steve Pittman. Both of them have the ability with their left foot to pinpoint long-range crosses and passes, so that's a weapon for them coming out of the back.
Santel, Johnston making a diagonal run, and he gets past Lawless. Can he get into the box? Price inside. He'll lay it off. Bravo has it. He's not afraid to shoot. Looking for Takawira off of Agus. Johnston tries to spin it into the corner off the loose ball. Doherty watches it sail wide.
Mo Johnston, formerly of the Scottish national team, ever the opportunist, trying to sneak a shot in there with the right foot. He was a consistent scorer for them leading up to the 1990 World Cup. In fact, he furnished the winning goal against Sweden in group play at World Cup 1990 for Scotland.
In the middle, Tab Ramos. Making a run, Valderrama. Dodd out quickly to grab it. Senora playing a much more attacking role here today. Near side, Ramos for the East. Santel comes over to try and shut him down. Nice play by Santel to slow down the Eastern captain, but Ramos still trying to get the cross in. Double teamed by Dallas. Echeverry into the tandem. And coming away with it, Mark Santel. Looking for Takawira. Lawless comes up to win it. Echeverry, Ramos was offside. He'll have to try and hold on. Nice move by Echeverry again. Knocked off his boot by Bravo. It'll be a corner kick. But some wizardry from El Diablo.
Absolutely putting on a dribbling display and a show for the Giant Stadium fans. Marco Echeverry of Bolivian national team fame, and a brilliant creative dribbler and playmaker.
Ramos looking for McBride. Dodd can't get it. Cleared away before Welton could. Here's Pittman with the left foot. Knocked down by Bravo. Welton holds on for the East. They try and find the equalizer, but can't. Takawira, far side. That's Preki. Preki with a 4-on-2. Preki, Takawira, and Johnston with him. He leaves it for Takawira just behind him. Agus tries to knock it clear. The East defense a little slow in getting back, but they did just enough.
Jeff Agus, number 12 for the East there, almost the lone defender back there, got his foot to it, otherwise almost a certain wide open chance for the Western Conference All-Stars.
Senora, Alvarez, back to Senora if he can keep it in play, but the offside flag was up. It'll be a free kick for the East just inside the area. Thursday and Friday, the British Open underway on ESPN. John Daly trying to hit it across the pond, and seeing the way he can, he just might. Starting out 9 a.m. Thursday on ESPN. Ramos laying it off from McBride. Doyle there, so Echeverry, and he cut between them both. Nice play by the San Jose defender.
John Doyle, perhaps risking too much in a game that really counted in the standings. He probably would have just played the ball out for a corner kick. This one, he finessed his way out of it. A couple substitutions here about to enter the game. Coming in, Dr. Kumalo of the Columbus Crew, and Tab Ramos of the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars, who scored the lone goal for the East today, coming off the field to a huge round of applause.
Ramos will hand the captain's armband to Dr. Kumalo, who promptly hands it over to Alexi Lawless. So Lawless, who has worn the New England captain's band once or twice, now wearing it for the Eastern Conference.
Of course, the guy that normally wears the armband for New England, Mike Burns, also selected to the Eastern Conference All-Stars. He's also a member of the U.S. national team. unable to participate in today's All-Star match due to the surgery to his right knee. He's going to be out for at least a couple more weeks.
Had the chance to talk to him earlier this weekend and says he's feeling fine. Can't run yet, but he's keeping his calendar marked, and he's expecting maybe 4 weeks away from returning to action. Brecky getting the outlet pass. Alvarez to the near side with the number 15, Jason Price.
Well, we saw 3 goals in the first half of play, starting off in the 14th minute. Tab Ramos from Carlos Valderrama, and then the equalizer from Brecky, and then the go-ahead goal for the West by Jason Price. This league, Major League Soccer, in its inaugural season, has been averaging nearly 3.5 goals per game. So it's been a very pleasant surprise in terms of the amount of scoring we've seen.
Let's go down to the field while we await the throw. The U.S. scoring leader with our own Bill McDermott.
I am with Eric Winaldo. Phil, you know, you got this all started in that inaugural game. You created this atmosphere. Tremendous, isn't it?
Well, I wouldn't say I created it. I think a lot of the guys that are here are showing today why this thing has been so successful. A lot of great soccer out there right now. We're having a lot of fun as players, and it's good to see that everybody's really enjoying themselves. This crowd's fantastic, and it's just a lot of fun.
With the San Jose Clash, enjoy the rest of your season.
Thank you so much.
Eric Winaldo, back up to you, Phil.
One of the more colorful characters, and so is Digital Takawera. In the middle for Santel, tries the return pass. Coming away with it nicely, Vasquez, but Digital holds on. Saving it for Bravo to the outside, Johnston. Back to Bravo, the back heel to Brecky. Cleared away by Agus, Echeverry fighting for it. But Alvarez, the number 14, comes away, fires the shot, banging it off of Pittman to Johnston. Mo Johnston, the former Celtic and Rangers star.
Give the West there an A for creative effort, as the little heel flick by Paul Bravo into Brecky. The tight spaces there, but they had some ideas up their sleeves. But it started off with Digital Takawera sliding to win the ball right back near the Eastern Conference goal.
Valderrama, Echeverry, and here's Savarese. He's in alone, but blocked wide by Dodd. What a save!
Echeverry showing his skills not only on the dribble here, but also with a neat little through pass. Valderrama to Echeverry, the quick touch, no offside there. Mark Santel kept him on, and Savarese, he actually had that lower corner picked out, but Dodd making the save of the game, perhaps. 61 miles per hour.
To the near side, Digital Takawera, who has been dangerous since coming on to start the second half. The West leads at 2-1. Phil Shane, Ty Keel with you from Giant Stadium, the inaugural Major League Soccer All-Star game, and it's been one to write home about. Johnston bangs the cross in off Pittman across the end line, and a corner kick for the West.
Well, Mark Dodd in goal for the West, an early leader in most of the goalkeeping statistics. He now sits third in overall goalkeeping with a 1.49 goals against average. Made a huge save there on Giovanni Savarese just seconds ago. Tony Miola, who started the game in the Eastern Conference goal, the #1 goalkeeper in the league with a 1.27 goals against average.
Far side corner taken quickly. Brecky wasting no time. Alvarez against Echeverry, and Echeverry harasses him enough to force the miscue. It will be a goal kick for Mark Doherty in the East.
We look at Marco Echeverry there. He gave us a dribbling display a couple of moments ago, and what a great through ball to Savarese to force the save out of Mark Dodd. There's our blimp shot. For you coaching tacticians out there, you can do the X's and O's from up there. But Phil, almost every one of these players will be representing their countries in World Cup qualifiers as we lead towards World Cup '98 in France. There's a lot of international experience on both of these all-star teams.
Price looking to set Takawera free, but Lawless, who has played a brilliant game so far, gives it up though with the pressure from Takawera and comes away with it again. And Savarese is free, but Dodd out of his area, can't clear it far enough. Hustles back. Valderrama, Savarese to the outside. Sonoro will take some pressure off.
Let me tell you, Valderrama's a genius there. He was about to play the ball to Savarese. He knew he was offside. Just a slight hesitation gave Savarese a chance to check back. Then he played it to him.
Dr. Komalo to Echeverry. Stolen away by Price. Price and Echeverry battle in the corner across the end line. It will be a corner kick. Echeverry takes it quickly. Komalo, the South African sensation. Lawless. Here's Vasquez. Valderrama, the number 9, sends it through. The offside flag is up. No goal. No goal.
Well, Savarese can smell a goal anywhere. This time he might have smelled it a bit prematurely, as working the ball nicely and intricately where the Eastern Conference All-Stars. Vasquez gave it to Valderrama. Valderrama slips it in behind. When he plays it to Savarese, Savarese is in behind all of the defenders, and the flag went up immediately for the offside. There's Savarese. Yeah, he's back behind all of the opposition defenders before the ball was played to him by Valderrama. So that time, if Valderrama could have, he would have tried to get it to him sooner before he stepped into that offside position.
John Doyle battling Savarese on the far side. Finds a way free to Alvarez. Near side, Santel. St. Louis native, right in midfield, wearing the number 7 today, knocking it back to Robin Fraser. Fraser will try and take some pressure off all the way to Dodd as Valderrama tries to force an errant pass. It almost does.
Practically every one of these players on both of the All-Star squads at one time had experience in foreign professional leagues overseas. They brought that here to MLS.
Santel just a step behind Jason Price. Kamalo, Johannesburg native.
Oh, and a star of South Africa's Nations Cup champion team.
Welton beats the trap at midfield. Dodd comes out. Welton sends it wide. He tried to spin it into the far corner, and he almost had it, but it's still 2-1 West.
And no offside here because it's a good diagonal ball all the way to the outside, running onto it. Now is Welton, the young Brazilian, 21 years of age. He takes measure of Mark Dodd and the goal, but fires wide.
The substitution will come in. Mark Dodd's pressure perhaps saving the day. Welton thought he might have him. Steve Rammel coming in. Martin Vasquez out, so Rammel will talk to Dr. Kamalo and try and set the stage for the East.
Talk about one of the surprise All-Stars, Steve Rammel, not even on an MLS roster at the start of the year. He was brought up from a US ISL team. There's an agreement between the two leagues to use US ISL as a farm system for Major League Soccer. And Rammel, you look at him, you wouldn't think he'd be a goal scorer. He's not that tall. He doesn't appear to be that much of a thoroughbred in terms of speed, but he's come on, scored the first hat trick ever in Major League Soccer action for DC United.
11 goals, 4 assists. Here's Welton. Oh, what a save by Dodd. He got down quickly on that one.
Dodd looking very sharp today.
Talked earlier about Jason Price, who tries to lift it up for Mo Johnson along with Rammel. Who might be some of the other players who caught you by surprise with their early play that earned All-Star bids?
Oh, now, one of the ones I wanted to talk about, he was not picked as an All-Star, but Steve Ralston of the Tampa Bay Mutiny, most likely the leading candidate for a Rookie of the Year pick. He had played college soccer in Florida and picked up by the Tampa Bay Mutiny. He has furnished many useful games out wide for the Tampa Bay Mutiny. Also in this game, Paul Bravo, a guy who had started the A-League, now scoring goals here.
Rommel in the middle, goal! He did it again! Somehow he gets there, Giovanni Savarese. A couple of Cinderella stories collide here today, and the East has tied it up.
The tying goal there by Giovanni Savarese, who plays right here for the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars. And you're right, two of the biggest surprise All-Stars on the field. Steve Rammel, who plays for DC United. He sets up the goal for Savarese. The ball played in here into space. Rammel runs onto it. He catches it just near the end line. He's got his head up looking to serve it out of the reach of Mark Dodd. Following up is Giovanni Savarese. Savarese was not a starter even for the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars. He's fighting, battling to get to that near post. And then off of Dodd's hands, he scoops up the rebound. And Savarese has a nose for the goal. He has helped resurrect this New York, New Jersey Metro Stars team in front of the huge crowds at Giant Stadium throughout the season. But Steve Rammel, well-timed run, a useful cross from in deep. He barely caught it before it went out of play.
A little bit of irony we can touch on in a moment, because DC United got a win on a very similar play earlier this week. Welton looking for Valderrama, but he gives it away to Johnston. The Scottish number 26 outside to his Kansas City teammate Preki, but stolen away by Pittman in the East defense. Kamalo with a little bit of flair. Into the middle looking for Rommel again. Khumalo picks up the loose ball to Echeverry. Echeverry into the middle for Rommel. Rommel has it. Khumalo takes the shot. Saved by Dodd.
Dr. Khumalo making his presence felt for the Eastern Conference. Khumalo was involved in the tying goal. He's the one that played the ball into Rammel in the corner when Rammel set up Savarese. Savarese and Khumalo there nearly scored.
Wallace put it on net. Goal kick for Dodd in the West. Knotted at 2, and what a game.
The crowd really getting into this. There's Alexi Lalas with the armband. He took it from Tab Ramos when Ramos left the game. Lalas played at Rutgers University nearby.
As did Rommel and Lalas, those two teammates helping out Thomas Rongen's Eastern squad, tie it up at 2. Mentioned the DC game against Rongen in Tampa Bay just a couple of days ago. John Maisner with the DC substitutes just seconds after coming on. A similar cross to Rommel that found Echeverry for the goal. Santel gives it up to Valderrama, but the offside flag was up.
So we've seen 4 goals, 3 of them in the first half. Now the Eastern Conference All-Stars led by their playmaking genius, Carlos Valderrama, number 9. It's hard to miss him with the hair, but he has the subtlety and creativity of a top-level playmaker worldwide. We look at the Budweiser scoring summary. Tab Ramos in the 14th minute, and then later on Preki tied it up.
Christ then in the 37th, putting the West in front, and here in the second half, right near the midway point, Rommel and Savarese, we talked about surprises, and they caught the West napping a little bit there. 2-2 the score. Just over 18 minutes left to go. Echeverry against Alvarez, and Christ comes over to help out nicely. Alvarez wearing the number 14, finding Preki. I thought Bill McDermott might have had Preki joking, but he might just play the whole game here today.
Well, he's still got the legs. He's 33 years of age, but going strong.
Takawera, the East defense is back. He's waiting for some help. All the way to the far side for Preki, brings it down with the right. Much more comfortable with the left. Johnston doesn't care, but he bangs it off Agus anyway, and the return volley sailing high and wide. Goal kick for the East.
Mo Johnson threatened there with the right foot. Agus probably saved a goal. I'm not sure if Mark Dougherty had a good look at that one. So blocked out in front, that last chance by Mo Johnston, the former Scottish international.
Dougherty taking his time.
The West have used all of their substitutes, all the players on their roster, with the exception of former U.S. national team captain Marcelo Balboa, who's also nursing a tender hamstring, and for that reason may not be able to step on the field today, but another great honor.
The East also using all of their substitutes as Rammel, one of the last ones who paid off some quick dividends.
Well, he got the ball to the right guy. Giovanni Savarese has 12 goals this season for the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars, and here's a guy who for many games was not even a starter.
Throw in for the East. Also have to give credit for Brian McBride, who was running on. If that ball had not been deflected, McBride might have had
He was right in there, yeah. Good runs into the goal mouth by the East on that last cross from the left side by Steve Rammel. They got the goal from Savarese, and we've got a 2-2 score.
Valderrama, Welton, Khumalo. Not a bad trio of ball handlers right there. Khumalo spins around to gain some space with Paul Bravo pressure.
Well, if they want to play for a tie, those 3 guys could probably just keep the ball the rest of the game.
Have a few Olays ringing around this stadium. Takawera with Alvarez pushing forward from the midfield, finds Preki outside. Preki, the number 8.
Of course, there won't be a tie.
Preki,
if not because of Preki's left foot, but because they will go to a shootout if, in fact, the score is tied at the end of regulation.
Here's Welton. Echeverry pushing forward as the East try and take the lead. So Savarese again with the diagonal run. Gets it back to Echeverry. Back post. McBride keeps it in play nicely. Rommel tries to hurry over to pick up the loose ball and does, but can't keep it in play on the far side. Bravo wins the throw-in.
Great hustle out there first by Brian McBride to keep the ball in play. There's Steve Rammel, give him an assist on the tying goal for the Eastern Conference from DC United. And he really came to the rescue of a struggling DC United team early in the season.
A capacity crowd here at Giant Stadium. MLS's first All-Star game, and it is definitely one that's been worth the price of admission. 2-2 the score, 15 plus left to go. Khumalo finds Welton. McBride to Valderrama. Frazier pressuring him. Valderrama doing a nice job holding on. Splits the defense. Gets to Echeverry. Pulled down to the mark. Savarese, but play on. Mark Santel brought him down. The only thing he didn't have was a rope tied around his legs. Johnston to the near side as the West got a break. Price wearing the number 15 to Preki. Bravo pushing forward, tries to split it for Price. Play on. The offside flag had come up. Valderrama, Echeverry on the outside, and he'll use him. The Bolivian number 8 finds McBride, but Santel gets ahead on it. McBride heading it back nicely to Welton. Welton looking for Valderrama, over him, but too shy for Echeverry, and cleared away by Senora.
Phil, is there such a thing as a Colombian hat dance? Because Valderrama a moment ago, before the shove on Savarese, stepped over the ball 3 or 4 different times, spun, double touched it, stepped through 2 defenders, and that's when he pushed the ball into space for Savarese. Savarese perhaps was shoved there by Mark Santel, but no whistle.
Cleared away by Doyle. And that's the one thing that separates Valderrama from some others who might have similar skill with the ball. So when he elects to pass it, it's almost always a scoring chance.
How he can dribble and elude so many defenders under heavy pressure and still know where the space is to lead someone at the same time, that's all part of his genius.
Chance for our Sports Center Olympic special. Tuesday the 16th, 7:30 Eastern time. Robin Roberts will hold it. A lot of action going on down in Atlanta and throughout the Southeast, and this could give you a chance to find out who the U.S. athletes are and who they'll be competing against. That's 7:30 Eastern time this coming Tuesday.
Keep watching Carlos Valderrama, number 9 in blue for the Eastern Conference All-Stars. He leads the league in game-winning assists. He nearly put Savarese through a moment ago on the controversial call, but Savarese was pulled down.
Here's Savarese again. Tries to get past Bravo. Bravo, one of the scoring leaders for San Jose, but he started the season, actually played recent years as a defensive midfielder. He's using some of that skill here today. Echeverry. Echeverry against Bravo, and Bravo does it again. Now he splits it, finds Khumalo. Dr. Khumalo inside the area. Pittman with the dangerous cross. Bravo got a head on it, but couldn't turn it to goal. McBride keeps it in play. Price and McBride, what a battle. McBride turns him inside, lifts it up, loose at the spot. Echeverry looking for the shot, spins it. Oh, it hit the crossbar. Just spun wide, might have caught the goal post as he had the corner open.
Electrifying skill there demonstrated by Marco Echeverry. What a left foot. He's matching Preki. Preki scored his, but look at this wicked swerve on this ball. Nearly hooks into the upper corner. It curved so much it was able to catch the far outside netting. That's how much of a bend it had on it. You don't see that every day, folks. That sort of ability to make a ball bend with the left foot by Echeverry.
2-2 the score, under 12 minutes to play. Here comes the West again with Preki. Gets through Lawless and somehow on the ground frees Johnston. Mo Johnston in the box, tries to cut it through. The foul will be called and a free kick just outside. A little bit of shirt tugging going on there.
Steve Pittman trailing the play, grabbed a hold of Mo Johnston's shirt because Johnston was off to the races. Tekawira helped set it up. Look at this battle going on. Preki gets the ball to Johnston and he takes off. He's into space. There's the shirt pull. And that is normally a mandatory yellow card. This is all-star action, so they're not going to bother with it. But still, it's a shame that Pittman resorted to it because you'd like to see a great goal-scoring chance, which you still might off the free kick.
Those two competing in the Scottish Premier League recently. Partick Thistle for Pittman, Falkirk for Johnston. They're both here at MLS, and perhaps an unfortunate collision here.
Really against the spirit, in particular, of an all-star game to be shirt pulling by Pittman.
Price will step over. Freeing Johnston, tries to get the shot, but Valderrama on the defense. Bravo on the volley. It rolls wide for the goal kick.
Valderrama taking his performance to new heights. You don't normally see him defend like that, but he did stop the shot off of Mo Johnston. Johnston making the mistake perhaps of trying to make sure he got the ball to his right foot. If he'd have struck it first time with his left, he might have got it past Carlos Valderrama.
Here's Pittman on the far side, so that little shirt-tugging incident causes no harm. Just under 11 minutes left to go. Still tied at 2 as Kamalo pulls it away. Nice give and go with Welton. Kamalo has Rammel on the outside. He'll use him. Rammel, the DC United scoring threat, taken away by Bravo.
Phil, I know you used it in a different way, but I do think the shirt pull by Pittman did cause harm to the spirit of the game and to the entertainment principle that should be in effect at every game.
How'd he get it through? Rommel tries to split the legs of Doyle and deflects over for the corner kick.
Watch number 14 in blue for the East. He's a goal scorer, only 5'9", but Rammel seems to be able to get his head to the ball more consistently than any other striker in the league.
Most of the East running on to this one. Lawless can't get there before Doyle does. And Doyle on the second header gets it out of the area. Over Johnston. Lawless banks it into the middle. The offside flag was up. Rommel, McBride, Savarese, perhaps all three of them might have been offside.
There's Steve Rammel of DC United. First hat trick ever in Major League Soccer action. Giovanni Savarese also having scored hat tricks. He was the second one in Major League Soccer history for the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars.
In fact, the very next night we had the chance to call it right here through ESPN against Colorado.
It's too bad Eduardo Hurtado, number 29 for the West, left the game at halftime. He's had 2 hat tricks this season for the LA Galaxy, and he also has scored 4 game-winning goals for the LA Galaxy, but he left the game at halftime. This being an all-star contest, they're letting everybody play.
Bravo tried to keep it alive, but his opposing number 16, Welton, comes away with it for the East. Echeverry to the outside for Kamalo. One player we haven't talked about yet, Echeverry's teammate, Raul Diaz-Arce, could not make it here today. Echeverry knocked down by Alvarez, and this a dangerous free kick for the East. Diaz-Arce scored 4 goals in a game. That's the record, but could not make it here today. So Echeverry suiting up, and he could end up coming up with a game-winning goal if he can bend this one, and he narrowly missed the last one.
Number 8 in blue for the Eastern Conference, Marco Echeverry, missed by millimeters about 2 minutes ago with his left foot. He's about to line this one up. Valderrama, I think, is the decoy on this one.
Echeverry bangs it off of Robin Frazier. Pittman gets ahead to it.
Remember, Echeverry took out Dan Kalachman with a drilled shot at the end of the first half. That's the kind of power he has.
Kamalo brought it down. No handball. Kamalo fires the shot off Bravo's chest. Stolen away by Pittman. Frees McBride. The left-footed cross. Oh, side netting. Savarese almost with an acrobatic goal.
Savarese went flying for that one to reach his extended right leg up for it. But you know, Echeverry was right there also at the back post. You wonder if Savarese would have known that. He might have left it. There's Savarese leaving his feet. Look how high he got. I mean, that looks like a Bruce Lee outtake. And Marco Echeverry even applauded Savarese for the effort just afterwards. But what a sensational finish that would have been to a close game here between East and West.
Especially at Giant Stadium. Tab Ramos gave the hometown crowd a reason to cheer, and Savarese did as well.
Exactly. 2 New York, New Jersey Metro Star players providing the goals for the Eastern Conference.
Valderrama knocked to the turf, quickly restarted. Here's Echeverry. Rommel and McBride running in front of him. Echeverry spins past Alvarez. Gets it to Rommel on the inside, but he didn't see it, and Frazier forced to clear it high and outside, almost into the stands.
Echeverry really stepping up his play. He was somewhat of a disappointment early this season with DC United, so highly touted, and everyone knows the brilliance of his technical skills, but he just wasn't making it happen as far as effectiveness. Now, as of late, DC United has moved up in the standings, now in 2nd place in the Eastern Conference, and Echeverry has started to contribute more and more.
So no substitutes left to use. The players that are out there on the field will have to do it the rest of the way with just under 6.5 minutes left to go. Frazier has the ball taken away, and this is a chance for the East. How did he get away from that one? Bravo once again not expecting the pass, and that allowed Diego Senora a chance to save the day for the West.
There's some sort of magnetic element to Valderrama's boots. That ball stays stuck.
Offside flag on the far side. Mo Johnston doesn't quite agree.
Valderrama, sometimes it's subtle, sometimes it's not. The subtle things are the quick little one-touch balls. The dribbling in tight spaces, almost effortlessly eluding defenders, is something that he could write volumes about because he's a master of it.
Welton could not elude Alvarez on that one, and a free kick for the East quickly restarted.
Leonel Alvarez, number 14, and one of the hard men of the league. Tough tackler.
Valderrama to the outside. Pittman sends it across low, looking for Savarese, but cleared away and brought out nicely by Alvarez.
Giovanni Savarese, number 17 in blue. Well, he lives in that 6-yard box.
Here comes Preki. Agus giving him some space. That could be a mistake with Johnston on the far side, but Preki's shot punched wide. Johnston was unmarked. Preki did have a good crack at goal, though.
Perhaps the wise choice there by goalkeeper Mark Dougherty, and just using the fists on Preki's shot, because it's always a loaded ball. It can dip at any second. You get your fingertips on it, it might take them off.
Alvarez again looking for Johnston, but Lawless got ahead in it. Back all the way to the far side for Alvarez. He's looking for help down the line. Senora to the 16, Paul Bravo. Alvarez. Preki's on this side, and he is dangerous with the left. Splits the defense looking for Tacuera, who has stopped moving. And Doherty easily comes up with that one. At the conclusion of the game, MasterCard will be awarding the MLS All-Star Game Most Valuable Player Award. We'll be sure to want to stick around and find out who does it, because there's still about 4+ minutes for heroics. And if it ends in a 2-2 tie, it will not end, because the shootout will be immediately upcoming. Echeverri.
I think players of this skill and talent could create a goal for us here in the last 4 minutes.
Maybe the last 10 seconds before this one's over. What a move by Valderrama. Valderrama to the edge of the area. He wouldn't mind going down for a free kick here, but he holds on to it to get Echeverri. Echeverri frees McBride. McBride, you can almost sense him waiting the offside flag. It would not come, but it rolls over for the goal kick.
The dribbling of Valderrama alone worth the price of admission this afternoon, though. Spinning, swirling, holding off defenders, dragging the ball behind his own leg, and still knowing where the support is and being able to play through balls.
3:30 and counting.
Valderrama, the oldest player on the field today at 34 years of age. But you wouldn't know it by his ability to keep going strong in the last minutes here.
And he's played the full game along with Preki, 2 of the oldest players, and they're still causing problems heading towards the 90th minute. Tacuera can't catch up with it before it rolls out for the throw. Goal in the 14th minute from Tab Ramos from Valderrama started the scoring, but the West would counter in the 33rd. Mauricio Cienfuegos setting up Preki for the equalizer, and just 4 minutes later, Hurtado finding a wide open Jason Price in the box. And in the second half, Savarese, shortly after being substituted in, knocks the score at 2. Johnston tries to out-dribble Echeverri and did, but Welton comes away with it. Echeverri, the nice move at the center stripe, all the way to the far side for Dr. Kamalo. This is where he's more naturally gifted on the flank. He's playing inside for Columbus.
A little more space to be found out wide generally, and he does serve a very accurate ball.
Echeverri, soft touch to Valderrama, returns it to Pittman, in the box, the shot, the goal! The Tampa Bay teammates come on! It's 3-2 East!
It's a Tampa Bay Mutiny connection here, and Pittman, who played many years of professional soccer in Scotland, is a USA native. It's dropped in by Valderrama. Nice little step-over move here, cutting inside his Pittman. He has a great left foot. This one has perfect placement on it. Look at Valderrama spin, and on the same move, be able to dish the ball off to an on-rushing Pittman with the left foot. 61 miles per hour into the far side netting. So we said it. These guys can produce goals when they need them. Steve Pittman, and that's his left foot, which is known to be able to break the net.
Don't think it's over. The West has just as much talent with 1:25 left to go. Chested down smartly by Welton, back to Doherty. At the East, calming things down, Thomas Rongan, just a minute 15 away from pulling off a win in the first All-Star game. And his teammates combine, the 2 Mutiny players that have produced so well for Rongan in Tampa Bay, do it here in the waning moments in the All-Star game at Giant Stadium.
The East led early with the goal by Tab Ramos, but then the West came back with 2 unanswered goals to take the lead, and now the East has taken control. Savarese providing the tying goal, and now Pittman And if you took that replay far enough back, it was Echeverry to Valderrama. Valderrama spinning to Pittman for the go-ahead goal. So Echeverry also a part of that perhaps winning goal.
35 seconds left as Doherty sends it up. That's what makes Pittman so dangerous and why Steve Sampson's so interested also. He's playing left back, and he's had 3 or 4 cracks at goal here today.
A fantastic left foot and the sense and timing of when to push forward from his defensive position. He timed his run perfectly. He has provided what looks like the winning goal for the East after getting the ball from his Tampa Bay Mutiny teammate, Carlos Valderrama.
Just about 10 seconds left. This might be the final chance for the West. Jason Price on the throw. Looking for Bravo. Lawless hits it wide. 4, 3, 2, 1. It is over. The East has won. Carlos Valderrama, what a game. Steve Pittman's goal wins it in the 88th minute for the East. The MLS All-Star Game is history. We'll be back to wrap it up next on ESPN.